Ladies, I'm running out of Retin-A, and in the context of skincare and anti-aging, running out of Retin-A is a tragedy. I'm not exaggerating when I use the word tragedy. And I believe that by the end of this video, you're going to agree with me, or at least you're going to understand my point. Welcome to Lifestyle with Isabella. Here we learn to look the best while being our best selves. This is a collagen mask I have for my eyes. I don't know if it does anything. I'm putting it on, I think, in desperation. But while that is processing, notice the bump I have here on my chin. This bump started to get on my chin because a few weeks ago, as I started to run low on Retin-A, I started to skimp on how I was applying it on my face. I thought if I just kind of apply it in dots, my whole face is going to reap the benefit, and I was wrong, because fairly soon after I started skimping on Retin-A, I got this bump. But look at this footage of me from Wednesday. Today it's Saturday, July 4th, Independence Day. So look at this footage here of me from 3 days ago. Can you see how much worse the bump is? So first I started skimping on Retin-A. I got the worst breakout ever. It was ingrown. It was disgusting. Last weekend, so a week ago, I said, I cannot skimp on Retin-A anymore. So I diligently started applying Retin-A on my face. And this is how it looked on Wednesday. Very bad. But then on Wednesday night, my skin started peeling and flaking, and I was able to kind of gently scrape a bit of my breakout, and I was able to squeeze the breakout, and now it's amazing how much it healed in just 3 days and how much progress it's made. The reason it's healing this fast is because, well, and the reason also I was starting to peel, so I was finally able to get to the whatever was brewing in there. Retin-A speeds up cell recovery. So our cells turn over quicker. So once I was able to get that breakout out of my face, now my face heals at a faster pace. But also because Retin-A makes the cells turn over faster. I can get rid of this now. It helps us age at a slower pace. Ladies, I don't want to sound cocky or overly confident, but look at my face. I'm 40. I turned 40 a couple of months ago. And okay, I'm daring you to find a line or a wrinkle on my face. Can you see any lines or any wrinkles on the corner of my eyes? Can you see any lines or any wrinkles underneath my eyes? Can you find any lines in the corner of my mouth? There's just no lines. That's what Retin-A does. Also, look at the skin texture. The skin is just very smooth. There are no bumps other than this bump, obviously. Retin-A, to me, is the holy grail product of skincare and anti-aging. I'm not skimping on Retin-A on my face anymore because you see the consequences. You can use Retin-A just about anywhere on your body. The only place you have to be a bit careful is your eyes, because the eye area is very sensitive. I know I have a hard time. That mask thing made my skin very sticky. I use Retin-A usually on my face, as tolerated on my chest. I use it on the back of my arms. I use it on the back of my thighs. I use it on my hands. But now, because I'm running low, I decided no more skimping on my face, but also I cannot skimp and I cannot even stop using Retin-A on the back of my arms. On my arms, I have this chronic condition since I was a child. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm gonna write it down below. I've been to doctors trying to find treatment. I've tried different products I found online. Just nothing helped. And finally, kind of with the desperation mode and not knowing what else to do, back in April, I decided to do the same thing I do to my face, to do to my arms, to see what happens. And I didn't think anything would happen because doctors before that have never been able to help me. But about 2 weeks, I started to see some flaking and I started to see an improvement. So this is how my arms looked about 3 months ago. And even though that was an improvement, it's very bumpy. It just doesn't look pretty. And this footage I just took this morning. So it's about 3 months difference. Can you see how much it improved? But it took me 3 months to get even this improvement, and my arms still don't look perfect. So I'm just afraid that if I stop, I'm gonna lose the benefits. I need to start doing my face. I'm gonna lose the benefits. I know, definitely need to put here, that I got on my arms. And when you put retina on your face, you're gonna start to see results within like 3-4 days, and in 2 weeks your skin is gonna look much better, and in 4 weeks it's gonna look great. With the arms, the skin is much thicker, so it just takes longer to get those results. I'm already using the strongest Retin-A that's available. Retin-A comes in 2 strengths, 0.05% and 1%, and I am already at 1%. Usually you start with 0.5% when you start a new routine to give your skin a chance to get used to Retin-A. So yeah, I just applied Retin-A. Now, the other thing is, because since last weekend I've been like crazily applying Retin-A on my face. Yesterday my skin was really peeling a lot all the way through here and here. So my skin, especially this area right here, starts to feel very irritated. When I start to feel irritation or kind of irritation, I do not use Retin-A. If my skin just flakes or peels, I continue to use Retin-A. But this morning I was doing my makeup, and even now when I touch it, it kind of, especially right through here, it feels irritated. So I'm not gonna put Retin-A here because it's just gonna make it worse. And I'm gonna also put it on my arms, obviously. So are you wondering why I'm in this Retin-A crisis, right? Because obviously skincare, it's a big passion of mine. Why would I allow myself to just pretty much be out of Retin-A? Well, you see, the problem that I ran into, my dermatologist is in Las Vegas, and I've been on the East Coast for the last 5 months. Just different circumstances have prevented my husband and I from going back. And I did not foresee being away from Las Vegas for this long. So this is my last refill that I have. Now, yes, I could go online and buy retinol. You hear the difference, Retin-A and retinol. I tried retinol on my face a few years ago. I was better off throwing my money away. It did nothing, absolutely nothing for me. It was a waste of money. So yes, it is kind of inconvenient to go and see a plastic surgeon or a dermatologist to get a prescription, but there's just no other way about it. Oh, and hold on. Because I'm not using Retin-A on my hands right now to conserve, I did buy this retinol hand cream to use on my hands. It's useless, absolutely useless. So, I mean, in theory, Retin-A and retinol do the same thing, in theory. But once you put retinol on your face, first it has to break itself down into the active ingredients, and then it can start to work on your face. While Retin-A, it's already into the active ingredients. So really, when you apply Retin-A on your face, your skin stops deteriorating that first night you put the Retin-A on your skin. That's amazing. Now, the other question you may have is, well, why don't you just see a dermatologist on the East Coast to write you a prescription? Well, let me ask you this, ladies. If you see, I'm putting moisturizer on my arms because Retin-A is very drying. So if I don't put moisturizer, my skin is going to start to feel itchy. So let me ask you this, ladies. If you had a heart condition, would you see a cardiologist, depending on where you happen to be, you know, sometimes in New York, sometimes in California, whatever? No, you want to see the same cardiologist because you want that doctor to know you, to know your conditions, to know your medical issues. It's the same with the skin. I do not like to doctor hop. I want to see the same doctor because I want that doctor to get to know me. And God forbid, if I ever have any complications with anything, that doctor knows exactly what I used for my skin, what I've done. Oh, this what I applied here is a product from CLOGGED. It's a cell lift serum. It's supposed to lift my skin. I don't know if it does, but I don't have the courage not to use it and find out if it doesn't. Okay, now the good news is, so this is July 4th. On July 7th, I have my flight to Las Vegas, and a week after, I am scheduled to see my dermatologist to get a new prescription. So if everything goes as scheduled, the little Retin-A I have left here should last me. Because after I see my dermatologist, I have like a couple of days, so it should last me. My skin on my face now feels super dry because I put the Retin-A. Another great thing about Retin-A is that it's so good at shrinking the pore size on our face, and that's why it feels drying to the face when we put it on. But the only thing you have to do, and I do, is I just have to make sure I use a really good moisturizer after I put my Retin-A on. And I currently use this moisturizer, Cell Lift moisturizer from CLOGGED. Again, it's supposed to lift my skin. I don't know if it lifts it. So let's pray and hope that everything goes as scheduled and I get my Retin-A prescription on time. Ladies, I made it to Las Vegas. I am on my way to see my dermatologist right now to refill my prescription for Retin-A. Yay for me, I'm so close. I'm almost there. Oh my goodness, ladies. Do you know what I'm holding here? A brand new container of Retin-A. Today I went to the pharmacy and I picked up my new prescription, and I have 3 refills available. Now I can freely apply Retin-A all over my face as much as I want, all over my chest, my hands, back of my arms, back of my thighs. Yes, let's do the chest too. I am so excited. Now the last question is there anything that I can do and you could do to enhance the effects of Retin-A even further? And the answer is yes. But I also want to ask you, do you now understand why I said that running out of Retin-A is a tragedy in the context of skincare and anti-aging? I hope you understand my viewpoint and you can see the results in my skin. Going back to the question of enhancing the results of Retin-A, I have videos right here. I go in detail over my entire skincare routine, My skincare routine is easy, but it's very consistent. I also have videos here going over the procedures I do on a regular basis to enhance the effects of the holy grail of skincare and anti-aging. Thank you, Retin-A. I love you. Thank you so much, ladies.